In a village perched on the jagged edges of a mountain, there lived a man named Kaito. Every morning, Kaito performed a simple but vital task. He carried water from the river in the valley up to his master's house. He used a sturdy wooden pole across his shoulders, with two large ceramic pots hanging at each end. One of the pots was perfect, smooth, glazed, and always holding its full portion of water until the end of the long walk. But the other pot was different. It had a deep, jagged crack running down its side. By the time Kaito reached the master's house, the cracked pot was always half empty. For 2 years, this was the daily rhythm. The perfect pot was proud of its efficiency, while the cracked pot lived in a state of profound shame. It felt useless, a failure in its only purpose. One evening, unable to bear the weight of its inadequacy any longer, the cracked pot spoke to Kaito by the river. It whispered, "I am ashamed of myself, and I want to apologize to you. Because of my flaw, you do double the work, yet I deliver only half the result. My crack makes me a burden." Kaito looked at the pot with a gentle, knowing smile. He didn't offer empty praise or hollow comfort. Instead, he said, "As we walk back up the mountain today, I want you to look not at yourself, but at the ground beneath you." As they climbed the steep, winding path, the cracked pot did as it was told. It noticed that on its side of the path, the dry earth was transformed. A vibrant ribbon of wild, colorful flowers lined the trail, dancing in the mountain breeze. On the other side of the path, where the perfect pot traveled, the ground remained parched, dusty, and bare. Kaito spoke quietly as they reached the summit. "Did you see the flowers? I have always known about your crack, so I planted seeds only on your side of the path. Every day, as we walked back from the river, you watered them. Without your flaw, the master would not have this beauty to grace his table. Your leek was not a waste, it was a gift." The cracked pot finally understood. Its perceived failure was actually a source of life. But this realization is not just for pots. It is a fundamental truth for the human mind. We often spend our lives trying to hide our cracks, our past mistakes, our physical imperfections, or our lack of traditional talents. We compare our leaking lives to the perfect lives of others, feeling that we are failing the journey. But discipline is not about becoming a perfect vessel. It is about knowing how to use the vessel you have. To turn your flaws into a source of value, you must follow 3 practical principles. First, identify the nature of your crack. Stop viewing your unique traits as errors that need to be deleted. Ask yourself, what does this flaw allow me to do that a perfect person cannot? Often, our greatest struggles create our greatest empathy, and our unique eccentricities create our most original ideas. Second, plant seeds in the path of your flaw. If you are someone who feels too much, plant seeds of art or connection. If you have failed in the past, plant seeds of mentorship for others. Do not try to stop the leak. Instead, place something beautiful where the water falls. Third, cease the labor of comparison. The perfect pot and the cracked pot both served the master, but they served him differently. One provided the water for the kitchen, the other provided the beauty for the soul. Neither was superior. They were simply partners in a larger purpose. The quiet path is not a road for the perfect. It is a trail worn smooth by those who have learned to walk with their flaws. True mastery is the ability to look at your scars and see not a history of pain, but a map of growth. Remember, the light enters through the cracks. Do not wish for a life without them. Instead, learn to water the world with what you have. Keep moving forward, be patient, be thankful, and let your flaws bloom.